This week we are going to be talking some more about commas, and we are going to be talking about the comma rule for appositives. Now, this week you're not going to be having an assignment for this rule, so you will not be submitting a worksheet back to me. You're just going to be listening to this rule and some information about this rule, and then watching me do some practice problems with it. But I will be giving you a practice page next week for this rule. Okay, so an appositive is a noun or a pronoun used to explain or identify another noun or pronoun. You might have also learned some about this appositive when you watch the Khan Academy video. If you haven't watched that yet, that's also loaded into this lesson. Make sure that you have watched that. It will give you some more information about appositives. There's an example here of an appositive. So remember, it's explaining some more about the noun. So you can see that the noun, Mrs. Judy, in this sentence, it says, my Sunday school teacher, so my Sunday school teacher tells more about Mrs. Judy, is also a family friend. So, in this case, a non-essential appositive is always separated from the rest of the sentence with commas. What does non-essential mean? It just means that the appositive does not tell who the sentence is talking about. Check out the following examples. My friend Ella May likes to eat mayonnaise on her waffles. In this sentence, the appositive Ella May tells who the sentence is about. Therefore, it is essential. When the appositive is essential to tell who the sentence is about, no commas are used. So up here, it's non-essential because it's not telling you who the sentence is about. But down here, it is telling you who the sentence is about, so it is essential. So, kind of like that rule we had before with the scissors and the commas, when it's non-essential, you can cut it out. So you think about the commas as being the scissors. But when it's essential, you have to leave it in. So don't cut it out. So you want to make sure you don't put the commas. Okay, here's another example. Ella May, a really weird eater, likes mayonnaise on her waffles. The appositive in this sentence does not tell us who likes to eat the mayonnaise on her waffles. Her name is there at the beginning, so we know that it is Ella May who likes to do this. Because the appositive is not telling us who the sentence is about, it is considered non-essential to the sentence, and therefore commas are needed. To help you remember, when you need a commas, think of each comma as a pair of scissors. When the appositive phrase is non-essential, not needed, put a pair of scissors or commas before it and after it. Think of using the commas as scissors to cut it out because it is not needed to clarify who the sentence is about. Okay, now we're going to watch some practice with commas and with appositives. So I have already done some practice with these commas, and I've already put some commas in these sentences, and I'm just going to show you how I did that and where I did that. A lot of these are the same kind of examples that we had before, where the appositive was in the middle of the sentence, but there are some examples here that have the appositive at the end of the sentence, so I'm also going to show you that. Okay, so Publix, which is the name of a grocery store, is Publix, my favorite store, sells all of the foods that I love. So Publix is what it's about. The appositive is my favorite store, so this is a non-essential appositive, so I'm going to put a comma after Publix and a comma after store, and then finish the sentence because it's non-essential. Okay, let's look at number 2. Tarantulas, huge hairy spiders. Now, this comma was already in the sentence because it was describing these two adjectives for spiders. So it was already listed here. This is not an appositive comma. But after spiders, I had to put a comma. Okay, and also after tarantulas, I need a comma because huge hairy spiders is the appositive. The comma here was already in the sentence, but I had to add a comma after tarantulas and I had to add a comma after spiders because that is non-essential. That's just giving me more information about the tarantulas. Okay? Each afternoon, I watch Tom and Jerry, my favorite cartoon. This comma, after the clause here, the phrase at the beginning of the sentence, was already in the sentence. This comma was. Added the comma here after Jerry because the my favorite cartoon is non-essential to this sentence. So this appositive here, my favorite cartoon, is non-essential. So I need to add a comma here. Now, this one is at the end of the sentence, this non-essential appositive right here. So you can see that it doesn't have another comma after it. It has a period. But it has to have a comma in front of it because it's non-essential. So that one was a little bit trickier. My little boy loves to listen to The Three Bears, his favorite bedtime story. This one is also very similar to number 3 because after the 3 bears, it needs to have a comma because this appositive right here is non-essential. His favorite bedtime story. This is non-essential. Okay, last one. Weight training